The Senate Committee on Natural Resources will now come to order. Will our wonderful secretary please call roll?
Senator Ellison. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Chair Cruz Crawford.
Here.
Vice Chair Scheibel.
Oh, please mark her or she will present when she arrives.
Okay.
Thank you.
Senator Pazina.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. Today we are going to hear 3 bills a little out of order. We're going to start with Assembly Bill 543. Before we begin, we do have a few housekeeping items. Looks like we don't really have anyone new here, so I'll go briefly over those. Please make sure you turn on your microphone when you're speaking and off when you're not speaking. Turn off your cell phones. You can provide public comment either in person or to our committee secretary. Please be respectful and keep your comments under 2 minutes. If you have longer comments, you can send them into our committee secretary. Okay, I will now open the hearing for Assembly Bill 543, which is a measure that revises provisions relating to the lease of certain real property for certain purposes and the sale of agricultural products produced on such real property. Today I have 2 wonderful presenters here. We have Ellery Stoller and Bob Mergel, correct? Okay. Okay. We have allotted 15 minutes for this bill presentation, but you don't have to use it all. Please begin when you are ready.
Oh, look at you. All right.
Oh, good.
Thanks for the tech support.
Yes.
Good morning, Chair Cruz Crawford and members of the committee. My name is Bob Mergel. I'm the administrator for Division of State Parks. We're here this morning to present AB 543. In a nutshell, State Parks manages 27 parks throughout the state. Several of them have property that is conducive to grazing leases. We do that for weed management and that type of thing. Currently, any grazing leases that we have, that money has to turn around and be spent in the same fiscal year, or else it reverts. Some of our grazing leases are very small, and because of that, we don't have enough money to actually do anything significant. We just buy a couple of T-posts, barbed wire, and then just stockpile that stuff until we can actually go out and do a meaningful project. The intent of this bill is to be able to allow us to put that money into a maintenance account that we already have by statute, and that will allow us to save that money from one year to the next so that we have enough funding in order to be able to do larger projects. The initial language that we had proposed pretty much just kept it in Chapter 407, which is the chapter of NRS that pertains specifically to state parks. When the language came back, it actually came back in Chapter 322, which is a state lands chapter of NRS. The language itself wasn't necessarily bad, but it brought to light a problem with Chapter 322, which is in the establishment of the fees related to grazing fees, basically. And the language that's currently in 322 is problematic for state lands. It puts the responsibility on them to establish what the minimum grazing lease amount would be per animal unit month. And the criteria in there can't be followed anymore. It's obsolete information. So the technology or just the way that people establish those. Anyway, it just cleans all of that up. So happy to answer any questions that you might have on that. That's
Well, thank you so much. We do not have any questions from the committee. So if you'd like to step back and take a seat, we will now have this crowd of people here to come up to provide support testimony. Anyone here in Carson City wishing to provide testimony and support? Seeing none. AVH, is there anyone on the line that would like to provide support testimony for Assembly Bill 543?
Thank you, Chair. Your public line is open and working. You have no callers at this time.
Anyone here in Carson that would like to provide testimony in opposition? Okay, any AVH, anyone on the line wishing to provide testimony in opposition?
Chair, your public line is open and working. You have no callers at this time.
Okay, anyone here in Carson would like to provide neutral testimony? Kathy? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, AVH, anyone on the line that would like to provide neutral testimony?
Chair, your public line is open and working. You have no callers at this time.
Okay, well, any closing remarks? Okay, well, thank you so much. I will now close the hearing on Assembly Bill 543, and we will open the hearing.
Recess for just a minute.
We will take a 1-minute recess.
He's tracked down.
Okay, we are now back from our 1-minute recess. We are now going to start the hearing on Assembly Bill 165, which is a revises provisions related to outdoor education. We have Assembly Member Mosca here at the table. We've allotted 15 minutes for the presentation, but if you finish early, you get bonus points. So you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. Erica Mosca for the record, representing Assembly District 14 in East Las Vegas. Yes, I'm going to be brief today. I have never been to this committee, so great to see you all. This bill, Assembly Bill 165, comes out of a bill from Speaker Yeager last session to create an outdoor advisory group that met for a year and a half. Senator Pezzina was on that council, and we talked to over 1,000 people, from stakeholders through surveys, through focus groups, and all counties, students, families, educators, and asked them if we were going to have better outdoor education or more outdoor education in Nevada, what are your suggestions? So for that year and a half, we met as a group. We had different subcommittees, and what you see here is the number one item that was voted on by those who were in the group. And so what this does is create an outdoor education council. You see who the members of the council are, and what the council is charged to do is actually come up with ways to help incentivize schools to focus on outdoor education. So for example, we talked about things like there are Purple Star schools, which are military schools, so why don't we have a designation for outdoor schools? We talked about we should figure out a way where we can celebrate schools who are doing really well in the outdoors, whether it's in school, after school, connecting students with standards that can be not modified but can be enhanced by helping outdoor education. And so what this bill does is just, and you see here on section 4, a teacher would be designated as an outdoor educator of the year. Number 2C that they would help with technical assistance. So this just, again, creates this council within the Division of Outdoor Recreation, which has been doing all this work for the past year and a half, so that we can make sure we have more outdoor education in Nevada without changing standards, without creating a fiscal impact, and without telling schools and teachers and districts what to do, but incentivizing them to help students get outdoors. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you so much for this work. I know Senator Pazina just got appropriations for some school gardens, so would that fall under? Or sorry, it's trying to get, would that fall under this category?
Erica Bosser for the record. That's a good question. So what this again is not trying to mandate down what could be considered as outdoor education, but the council of the folks who are on the council could decide that maybe that's an indicator if you have a school garden, if you have field trips. But then we know in places, the good thing about the school gardens is they're in different counties too. But we heard from a lot of our rural counties that maybe they do stuff with the hay that's outside and then they sell it, and that could also be count as outdoor ed stuff. But again, we want to let this group come up with that, so we're not telling them what to do.
Great, setting the parameters. Okay, well, thank you so much. If you'd like to step back, we will now take testimony in support. Anyone here in Carson wanting to provide testimony in support of Assembly Bill 165? Seeing none, AVH, is there anyone on the line that would like to provide support testimony?
If you would like to provide testimony in support for Assembly Bill 165, star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, there are no callers wishing to testify in support at this time.
Okay, anyone here wishing to provide opposition testimony? Seeing none, AVH, anyone on the line wishing to provide opposition testimony for AB 165?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Okay, neutral testimony. Anyone here in Carson like to provide neutral testimony? Okay, AVH, anyone on the line that would like to provide neutral testimony?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Okay, Assemblymember Mosca has waived her closing comments, so we will now close the hearing on Assembly Bill 165. And we will open the hearing on Assembly Bill 405. This is a measure that revises provisions relating to agriculture, and we have the wonderful Assemblymember Flanagan that is going to be presenting, and I'm so excited to see this. You may begin when you're ready.
Good morning, Chair, Senator Cruz Crawford. It is a pleasure to see you and members of the Committee on Natural Resources. Thank you for allowing me to be here this morning. Assembly Bill 405 expands the work we have already been doing on community gardens and takes it a step further. Over previous legislative sessions, laws have been put in place to stand up community gardens and urban farms, to allow for agricultural overlay maps, to allow for land to be, for tax abatements and special privileges for land to be used to create community gardens and urban farms in areas where we are experiencing food deserts. So what AB 405 will do is it will take the already established Food Security Council established through the governor's office and ask them to begin the process of taking a look statewide at where we have food deserts, to do the work to stand up community gardens and urban farms. So it's a really great opportunity for us to continue to expand the work we were already doing. There are great projects in existence, like the Aboto project down in the southern region. There are the Reno Farm that's so close in downtown Reno area, where they converted a parking lot to a community garden. UNR Cooperative Extension is very supportive of this in partnership with UNLV. So there's a lot of already good programs in place, but this is to look at the state collectively to build a sustainable food network to address the needs of our families and children who are without food or without access to food in communities where we just don't have convenient locations for good, healthy, fresh foods and food choices. So that is the gist of it. I worked on this project with Director of the Department of Agriculture, JJ Gogachia. He is on board. There's a lot of great supporters for this project, and I'm super excited to bring it forward. And I'll take any questions you might have.
Okay, there are no questions to the committee, but thank you so much for doing this work. I know we've had a lot of federal cuts in our food pantries, and so I really appreciate you looking at this work. So,
Thank you so much, Senator Cruz Crawford. Yes, that was a situation that occurred during this session. The federal government announced severe cuts to fresh food programs, farm-to-table programs to support our children and families. So this is I hope you agree with me that this is a great piece of legislation and opportunity to do something here in Nevada collectively to help our families and to continue meeting the needs. Thank you.
thank you so much, and I've been to the Adobo Collective many times, and it's a great project, great bringing community together. Okay, we will now take testimony in support of Assembly Bill 405.
It's on now. Marco Rauda, M-A-R-C-O, R-A-U-D-A, representing Green Our Planet. And we want to thank the chair and the committee for listening to this bill and the sponsor for bringing it up. And we are in support. Thank you.
We missed you during the last presentation. We were talking about outdoor education in school gardens. No testimony in support, Mr. Rauda?
160, was it 160?
AB 165.
Oh, I should have been there for that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Let's not put that on the record so people don't know that I missed it.
Okay. Go ahead. Just push the button.
Good morning, Chair Senator Cruz Crawford, Michelle Montgomery for the record, and here to support AB 405. I support it, and you should too. Thank you.
Okay, now will AVH open up to anyone in support on the phone lines?
Thank you, Chair. If you would like to testify in support for AB 405, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue.
Chair Cruz Crawford and members of the committee. My name is Jana Moan, and I'm the Nevada External Affairs Director for the Nature Conservancy. We support AB 405 to create a community gardens and urban farming program. One of the goals of the Nature Conservancy is to promote pathways that provide food and water sustainability for people and nature. Community gardens and urban farming does just that. It supports local food economies, it provides green space, it supports pollinators and empowers communities by enhancing access to better nutrition. Thanks for hearing our testimony, and thank you to the bill sponsor for bringing this bill forward, and we urge your support.
Chair, there are no further callers wishing to testify in support at this time.
Michael Flores on behalf of the University of Nevada, Reno. Madam Chair, members of the committee, apologize for being late, but we are in full support and want to thank the bill sponsor.
Thank you so much. Assemblymember Flanagan said that UNR was in support, but I just wanted to get that on the record because I didn't know if she was telling the truth. Okay, anyone that would like to provide opposition testimony? Seeing None. AVH, is there anyone on the line that would like to provide opposition testimony for Assembly Bill 405?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Anyone with neutral testimony here in Carson? Seeing none. AVH, is there anyone with neutral testimony on the line?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working. There are no callers.
Thank you so much. I will now close the hearing on, I will now invite the sponsor up for closing statements.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Senator Cruz Crawford. And I will be quick. I know we are listening to tons of hearings and bills this morning. I just want to close by saying how passionate I am about this. And earlier, I was giving you the nuts and bolts of it. I believe community gardens have an opportunity to not only provide families with food, but a place to come together, to beautify neighborhoods, and to just address a number of things from mental health to neighborhood beautification, to help with heat mitigation issues, and all of the things of that nature, and just to give people a place of pride and value with access to resources that they need, to educate children and families, to give seniors resources. My dad is 86 years old, and he gets up every day and he goes to the community garden in his neighborhood, and he helps his fellow friends, other seniors, to have something to do and to give them a sense of connectivity, especially when they get to that age and they've lost people and they don't have anyone. So sometimes all they have is each other, and the community garden provides a place to work together and to do some good, and then they go to the church and they give that food away to families in the neighborhood who need that support. So I think community gardens and urban farms have the ability to really generate some good in our state. So thank you for hearing this bill, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. If you'd like to stick around, I will now close the hearing on Assembly Bill 405, and next I'll entertain a motion to do pass Assembly Bill 405 unless, go ahead, I'll entertain a motion.
I missed the entire hearing, but this sounds like a really wonderful idea, and Assemblymember Flanagan's remarks at the end here have convinced me to move to pass this bill. I don't even know what number it is.
Senate Bill Scheibel has made a motion to do pass.
AB 405.
AB.
I moved do pass AB 405.
Beautiful. Okay, I think that passes the sniff test. Senator Scheibel has made a motion to do pass. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second from Senator Pizzina. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. I will sign the floor statement to, which one? Got it. Okay, I will assign this to Senator Scheibel since she's very passionate about this issue. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, I will now entertain a motion to do pass Assembly Bill 165.
So moved.
And I have Senator Pizzina and a second by Senator Hansen. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, I will sign the floor motion carries, and I'll sign the floor statement to Senator Pizzina since she worked on the interim on that committee. So thank you for your work. Okay, last work session that we are going to do, I will entertain a motion to do pass Assembly Bill 543.
So moved.
Moved by Senator Hansen.
Second.
And a second by Senator Scheibel. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries, and I'll sign the floor statement to Senator Hansen since he knows all about grazing, probably more than all three of us combined here.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment, though. Okay, so that brings us to our last order of business today, which is public comment. This might be our last ever meeting.
Maybe.
So this might be your last time to ever talk about anything that you would like to talk about, to get off your chest about natural resources. Seeing no one here in Carson, AVH, is there anyone on the line that would like to provide public comment for natural resource? Public comment, yes.
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you. Okay, well, it has been a pleasure. It's been wonderful. Senator Scheibel's going to close with some remarks about how great of a chair I was. Just kidding.
Yes, I am. Senator Cruz Crawford continues to impress us with her masterful skills of maintaining order in chaotic times.
This meeting is adjourned.